Have you ever wondered what happens when the relentless pursuit of knowledge goes too far? Science is humanity's greatest tool for progress, but its history is littered with cautionary tales. Today, we read diving into the shadows to uncover real scientific experiments that started with noble intentions but spiraled into ethical and humanitarian disasters, changing our world and our laws forever. First, let's travel back to 1920. John Watson, a prominent psychologist, wanted to understand fear. He designed an experiment with a 9-month-old baby, known to us only as Little Albert. Watson's goal was simple: to see if fear was innate or a conditioned response. Initially, Little Albert was a happy, curious baby. He wasn't afraid of a white rat, a rabbit, or even a dog. Every time Albert reached for the white rat, Watson would strike a steel bar with a hammer right behind the baby's head, creating a terrifyingly loud noise. As you can imagine, the baby was startled and burst into tears. After just a few repetitions, the sight of the white rat alone was enough to make little Albert cry and desperately try to crawl away. The Little Albert experiment is now a textbook example of unethical research, a stark reminder of the profound and lasting harm that can be inflicted in the name of science. It played a crucial role in developing the strict ethical guidelines that protect human subjects in research today. Next, we journey to Stanford University in 1971. Psychologist Philip Zimbardo wanted to explore the power of situations on human behavior. He set up a simulated prison in the basement of the psychology department and recruited 24 mentally and physically healthy male college students. They began to harass and psychologically abuse the prisoners. They subjected them to strip searches, delousing, and forced them to wear smocks with no undergarments, all to dehumanize them. The guards became increasingly sadistic, forcing prisoners to do push-ups as punishment, depriving them of sleep, and locking them in a small closet they called the hole. The prisoners, in turn, became passive, helpless, and showed signs of extreme emotional distress. Some had breakdowns. One prisoner had to be released after just 36 hours because he was suffering from acute emotional disturbance. The study powerfully demonstrated how quickly people can conform to social roles, especially when there's an imbalance of power. It raised profound questions about the nature of good and evil and became a cornerstone in the argument for ethical oversight in psychological research, leading to the creation of institutional review boards or IRBs, which now vet all studies involving human subjects. Now, let's turn to a story that blurs the line between science and social engineering. In the 1960s, a psychologist named Dr. Peter Neubauer began a secret study in New York City. The separated siblings grew up completely unaware of each other's existence. The study was a treasure trove of data, but it came at an immense human cost. The emotional fallout for the subjects who eventually found each other was immense. The story came to light in the 1990s, and the documentary Three Identical Strangers brought the experience of one set of triplets, Robert Shafran, Eddie Galland, and David Kalman, to a global audience. Their reunion was joyful at first, but the reality of their manipulated lives led to deep psychological struggles. Tragically, one of the triplets, Eddie Galland, took his own life. The full results of the study were never published. Upon his death, Dr. Neubauer sealed the records at Yale University, to remain locked away until 2065. This experiment stands as a chilling example of scientific curiosity, overriding basic human decency and the right for families to stay together. "399 of them had latent syphilis, while the other 201 were a control group. The men were told they were being treated for bad blood, a local term for a variety of ailments. In reality, they were given no effective treatment at all. They were promised free medical exams, free meals, and burial insurance for participating. The researchers had no intention of curing the men. Their goal was simply to observe the full progression of the disease until death. For 40 years, the men were deceived. Even when penicillin became the standard, widely available cure for syphilis in the 1940s, the researchers actively withheld it from the participants. Their experiences forced a reckoning within the scientific community, leading to the robust ethical protections we have today. They serve as a permanent reminder that the dignity and well-being of every individual must always come before the quest for data. Thank you for watching. If you found this exploration into the darker side of science interesting, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into history's most fascinating stories.